Kid, what the actual fuck? Is a thought that crosses Aizawa's mind a minimum of 3 times a day. By Finchnightmare. Read by My Lost and Found. Summary. Poor Aizawa doesn't know what he's getting himself into when he catches a 16-year-old vigilante and asks for their parents. This fic is 1,800 words and 1 chapter. As always, the link to the original fic is in the description below. Now, on with the story. Aizawa jumped down from his position on a roof of an office building, watching a flash of green run down an alleyway. He expected the vigilante he caught vandalizing a hero agency building, All Might's agency no less, to run. But what he didn't expect was them to be so goddamn fast. The kid managed to lose Aizawa pretty quickly, seemingly to know the ground area much better than the underground hero, who preferred rooftop vantages. But as fast as they were, the vigilante... villain? Aizawa wasn't sure. They hadn't actively hurt anyone good, but reports of a short kid wearing black and green beating up killers who escaped justice spread quickly. Was predictable. It didn't take long for Aizawa to jump up on a roof, watching the kid run down an alleyway, cornering himself as Aizawa blocked the way he just came. The kid swore under their breath, reaching behind their back, never breaking eye contact with the hero, not even when Aizawa activated his quirk. Usually, people flinched at the sudden loss of their quirks, a feeling of brief panic as Aizawa caught them defenseless. But this kid didn't even seem to notice, despite the glowing red illuminating the dark alleyway. Aizawa was taken aback, blinking as the kid didn't back down. Even killers and high-ranked villains hesitated to run after Aizawa without their quirks. Unless this kid was quirkless. He couldn't deny the possibility, although rare. It wasn't impossible. But the knife that was thrown at his face with near precision made him reconsider. Oh, fuck. Aizawa caught the knife, by the blade. It was his time to swear this time, dropping and kicking the knife away. It clattered to the stop in a gutter, hiding between cans and broken bottles. He made a mental note to find it and confiscate it when the kid was detained. He didn't have time to focus on the pain as the kid ran off again, hopping over low walls, but not making it that far as Aizawa's capture scarf shot out, wrapping itself around their waist, flinging them back. The kid put up a fight trying to get out of his grip, kicking and punching, but didn't scream as Aizawa tightened his grip on them, surprisingly finding it difficult.
Kid, hey, calm down. I'm not going to hurt you. I just need to ask you some questions, okay? Take a deep breath for me.
The kid didn't comply, not until they got tired, punches and kicks getting weak and messy, less control over their own movements. When they finally got tired, Aizawa leant against the wall, kid still in his scarf, and finally able to get a proper look at the kid he had been chasing. They couldn't be over 14, short and thin, maybe a little malnourished, but it was difficult to tell over their outfit. They wore a black turtleneck, bulletproof vests under a green jacket and black pants. The bag they had stuffed with spray paints before Aizawa had started to chase them had been ditched a while ago, no doubt heavy and loud. When Aizawa tried to take a look at his face, it was obscured by a black mask hiding the lower part of his face. Their fluffy green hair hid their eyes pretty well. This did not make things easier for Aizawa.
You're pretty quick, kid. What's your name?
Aizawa asked, once he felt like the kid wouldn't try to attack him or throw more knives at him.
Are you a pro hero, or do you just pretend to be one for brownie points?
They looked up at the hero, eyebrow raised and waiting for an answer. Aizawa pulled out his hero license from his back pocket, showing the kid his ID. Their eyes widened, but didn't tense up in his grip. Underground. So you don't get much credit for the people you catch, huh? So, let's propose a deal. Aizawa let out a small laugh. This kid wasn't exactly in the position to make a deal, with a pro hero no less.
Don't avoid my question. What's your name, and how old are you?
And if I don't tell you? The kid already pushed Aizawa's patience by throwing a knife at his face. They weren't in the position to challenge him. You wouldn't hurt an innocent, defenseless kid, would you? They raised their hands with a small smile. Aizawa sighed. He questioned why he became a hero or teacher in the first place. He was pretty sure dealing with vigilante kids wasn't in the job description.
Look, tell me your name and age, and I'll just take you back to your house. Talk to your parents, and I'll be on my way. Otherwise, I'll have to arrest you, take you to the police station, call your parents, get them to come over, then they'll either bail you out or let you spend the night in jail, and it'll just be a hassle for both of us.
The kid thought for a second, squeezing their lips together, the same way kids do when they're trying not to laugh in class. Aizawa had seen that expression plenty, especially with the class he was teaching that year. He had half the mind to expel them, but now was not the time or place to think about that. Aizawa's unimpressed look made the kid lose it a little, laughing until Aizawa shot him a glare.
Okay, I'm sorry. My name's Deku. I'm 16. Can I go now?
The kid, Deku, asked, lowering his hands which were still raised. He twisted against the scarf still wrapped around his waist.
What's your real name? First and last name, so I can make sure you're not wanted for anything. The way you ran from me, quite impressive, I must say.
Thank you. It's a skill I've acquired over the years, and I doubt I'm wanted for anything. Can't be wanted if no one knows who you are. Deku shrugged. Izuku Midoriya, at your service, Eraserhead. And good luck trying to speak to my parents. They're hard to get a hold of.
Don't test me, kid. I will take you back to the station if I have to.
Aizawa threatened, and it seemed to do the trick. Either way, the kid shrugged, unwrapping themselves from Aizawa's scarf now that the hero was sure they weren't going to start attacking or running. He had their name and description of what they were wearing, so if they had any sense to know heroes communicated with each other, they wouldn't try anything else.
Fine, I'll take you to my parents, but don't tell me I didn't warn you.
Then, Izuku started to walk back down from where they came from, staying mostly to the quiet streets, away from the buzz of city life. As they walked, Aizawa tried to initiate casual conversation, but the tension laid heavy in the air, Izuku only giving one-word answers. Aizawa gave up a few minutes later. Not that he minded. The kid creeped him out. They were known amongst the heroes as a little call of chaos. No other hero managing to keep up as they ran off into the dark, not to be seen again for another week or so.
Kid, I swear if you're wasting my time.
Aizawa started, but was cut off as the kid stopped before climbing over the gates, stopping their path. He sighed, something he was doing a lot recently, before taking a step back to look at the sign, wrapped in metal and only lit by the nearby streetlight. Cemetery. Aizawa didn't like where this was going.
Hey, kid, trespassing into a cemetery isn't gonna look good on your record.
He looked back down to where Izuku was standing, but they had disappeared down the rows of gravestones, only the sound of crunching leaves and twigs reassuring Aizawa that they weren't running away from him.
Hey, kid, wait up. I don't want to lose you again.
He could hear Izuku mumble something, but he missed what he said. The sound of footsteps was only getting quieter, so Aizawa followed, jumping over the gate and following a poorly lit path. He hoped that the kid lived next to the cemetery and liked taking detours. He imagined a small little cottage overlooking the gravestones, sounds of bells from the church acting like an alarm and talking to spirits, if the kid could do that. But when he saw Izuku stop next to a pair of large stones, his hope dropped a little. I told you my parents were hard to get a hold of, but I have a Ouija board if you want to try. Izuku crouched in front of the stones, looking up at Aizawa.
Oh, Mr. and Mrs. Midoriya, your kid has gotten into more shit. Try haunting them sometime. That might fuck them up a little more.
His voice mocking Aizawa's tone of voice, crossing his arms the way Aizawa found himself doing in interviews with the press when Hizashi dragged him to the reporters. Aizawa rarely laughed, but he did then. He slapped a hand over his mouth for a second, muttering an apology to Izuku. He didn't expect their parents to be dead, and he couldn't fault Izuku. They didn't lie about their parents being hard to get a hold of, but a heads up would have been nice.
Well, you weren't wrong. But holy shit, kid, who do you stay with?
Aizawa crouched next to the gravestones, trying to make out the names and designs. The feeling of irritation he felt when he caught them turned to concern. Izuku remained silent, staring at the floor.
Kid? I'm on my own. I hide out in the abandoned house next to the cemetery. You can't tell my parents I vandalized a hero agency and I have no guardians, so can I go now?
They stood up, waiting for Aizawa to let them go or refuse, leaving Izuku to either run or go to the police station. They would rather the former.
Well, you do have a guardian now. Let's go.
Aizawa stood up, wrapping an arm around their shoulders. Izuku stopped, looking at Aizawa.
What? I can't just leave you here, so I'm taking you back to my house. It's not kidnapping if I don't lock the doors, but I think it might be good for you. I have cats. Let's go.
Aizawa didn't leave room for argument, and Izuku didn't argue. Aizawa started his shift catching a vigilante who was causing chaos for other pro-heroes, and ended with a sad, orphan child in his possession. Maybe that's why he became a teacher or pro-hero. That was nice and short and sweet. I'm pretty sure I got, a request for more, Vigilante Izuku. It's not, very heavy on that side, but I haven't found a lot that are short enough for me to, one-shot podfic to do, and I love the, I got a Ouija board if you want to try. I just like this fic, and it kind of fit. I'm looking for, a one-shot that's more in that, direction of Vigilante Izuku, but I thought this was a nice one in the meantime, and it's just really funny. And this is actually the first fic I'm recording for Voice Team 2024. It's this podfic community event online, and I got an email inviting me to it, and I joined. So there's 3 weeks of challenges, and for this is the first week, and the first one we're recording is for the immersion chamber challenge. The challenge was to watch or listen to something canon for at least 30 minutes and then straight away record with the voices of the characters just in your mind. All the canon is there, and it was actually really funny because before even listening to this challenge, I was planning on listening to canon and all the voices of the characters because I wanted to refresh myself, and actually made a little Google Drive folder full of all the Class 1A voices, clips that I compiled. So it was just perfect. I was already doing that, so I was let's record. It may be almost 11 o'clock at night, but let's do this one. First podfic done. I hope I did this right. I'm very, I won't say confused. Things are laid out very nicely and professionally. I'm just nervous that I'm going to do something wrong. I'm probably going to do something wrong eventually, and I'll do my best to fix it, but I'm excited. I hope you like this fic. As always, the link to this fic is in the description below, and if you liked it, go leave the author a kudos and comment if you can, and I will see you guys next time.